If you're right, stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Josh,
Yes.
Bob,
Yep.
Frank,
Yes.
is excused, Nick,
Yes. All right, we need a motion to approve September's minutes.
So be it. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have any petitions, requests from the floor tonight?
I do. My name's. I won't stand for that.
anyway.
My name's Rich Wendig. I own RNC Farm on Hazelmere Avenue. I came to you guys last year, either in September, October, I don't remember. I got some code violations at my farmstead. And we addressed them, and I thought we took care of them. And now I got some more code violations. And I've contacted Ag and Markets, and they deemed them all are, they will fight on my behalf if it goes that far. But they recommended, and I'm in agreement with, come to you guys and let's just make everybody happy, or try to make everybody happy before we go the legal route. That's what I'd like to do tonight. And find out what exactly you'd like me to do. Because I've asked your code enforcement officer, he told me to go piss up a road, so that didn't work out very well. I don't know what he wants. He said I must be an effing idiot if I can't figure it out. Well, I'm dumb, I can't figure it out. Allegations are junk vehicles, litter, trash, refuge, house in disrepair. I know I need a roof on my house. I've ordered a steel core. As soon as I'm done corn harvest, I will get on it. The corn pays the bills, the roof doesn't pay the bills. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I only have a short window to do it. I got about 350 acres of corn left to go, and it's me, myself, and I on the harvest crew, so. That's what we're working at. I did bring all the registrations for all my vehicles. I also brought, on the recommendation of Ag and Markets, copies of the laws that show that I am not in, I guess you call it in violation or whatever. Suggest that the code officer reads up on them. They said ignorance is no excuse. The state has ruled that the laws that he is citing do not apply to farms in an agriculture district, which I'm in. You also have your local law, your right to farm law, and your local junk law also allows 5 vehicles. I'm well under 5 junk, quote unquote, junk vehicles. Actually, by your local law, I have 0 junk vehicles because they all start and run. It doesn't say they have to be registered. It says they have to start and run under their own power, which they do. That's why we have them. I mean, they're not all road legal because we don't use them on the road. No sense in paying a $2,000 registration fee on a truck that never leaves the property. You know, somebody wants to donate $2,000, I'll put a sticker on it, it'll make everybody happy, but I think it's a waste of money personally. Here's a copy of the laws and copy of all my registrations. For y'all. So, but I'm open to suggestions, you know, I'm trying to be a good neighbor, try to keep the place clean. When I bought the place, it was a junkyard, literally, it would let go for 50 years. I hauled 70 some semi-loads of scrap out of there. A 4-yard dumpster leaves every other week, right full. I'm still picking stuff out of the woods and cleaning it up. I mean, it's gonna take a little bit, but it's not even my trash per se. I mean, yes, I bought it, so it's mine, but it's not like I put it there.
Mr. Windig, the only comment I'm gonna have is your characterization of our phone conversations is absolutely dishonest.
New York.
And I would assume the clerk was within earshot of the conversation. There was never any unpleasantries exchanged, no swearing on the phone. You're absolutely dishonest with that characterization. I'll leave it as that.
All I'm gonna say is New York State is a one-party consent state,
This thing is. Leave it at that.
and I'll leave it at that.
Just to be clear, I sit across and I never heard him drop an F-bomb in his office, so, but I'm not, I mean. Discussions get heated, but there's never with people in the office but there's never been any vulgarities dropped on his end of the line, so.
I have it all recorded, so.
Okay, then.
Well, share it with the community then, if you have it recorded, because you're absolutely dishonest.
I could
Your
bring it to-
characterization,
I could bring it to the next board meeting. I
Please
didn't bring
do.
it here,
please do.
but I can. I didn't know.
Please bring it in.
Sure.
So I guess my question is, at this point, do you have a clear idea of what is still being requested of you? Or
I have
needs
no
to be-
idea what's being requested, and the state can't figure it out either. They looked over the violations he sent. And they can't make heads or tails out of it. I can't make heads or tails out of it. I called for clarification. And I couldn't get it.
The roof that you're talking about, is that the same roof that you were talking about last year?
Yes,
Okay, so that just didn't get,
I just didn't have the money to do it this spring. Fertilizer was a little bit more than I thought it was gonna be. And like I said, crops are number one for me. Roof is number two. Roof doesn't leak. So, I mean, if it was leaking, I guess it'd get moved up the priority list.
Well, that's interesting because last year you said after you removed the trees that were growing out of the roof, you said it wasn't leaking before you removed the trees. You said it was leaking after you removed the trees. So which is it?
Well, isn't that the section that has the new tin on it?
I don't know. I
You
haven't been on
said
the
I could-
property.
You said I could repair it, and I did repair that section. I didn't repair the whole roof. An 8x10 section or 8 by whatever it was, 12, whatever it was, I don't remember, is pretty easy to tin. The whole roof takes a little bit more time and money. So I did repair the section that was leaking. And I didn't touch the rest of it, so it doesn't leak.
Clearly, you didn't touch the rest of it.
Yeah, it doesn't leak. And as of January 2021, there was no code violation on it. And there's a letter right in there saying that. So. That was only 3 years ago now. So in 2 years, it went from being a perfectly fine roof with no code violation to being in violation.
I got a question. You said, you're on Hazelmere, right? I know where, yeah. And your tax is a farm? You're a farm?
Yes,
That's a farm there?
yep.
Whereabouts on Hazelmere?
If you go down, turn by the post
Yeah,
office, it's about
John's old place.
second or third house on the right.
Okay,
Actually, the owner of record is a Nancy Wendig. Is that a relation of you?
That is my mom's name. And how that all came about is I was going through a divorce and I lost my main farm up on Marble Road. And
I'm just wondering if you're the owner of record or your mother's the owner of record. And if your mother is the owner of record, are you here on her behalf?
I guess I'm on her behalf for
Okay.
tonight, and in a week or so, it'll be on my behalf, because the owner of record's gonna be being switched here shortly. The
Okay,
divorce is
perfect.
finalized, so I'm putting the property into the farm's name. It won't even be in my name, it'll be in the farm's name.
How many acres you have there?
With all three parcels, there is like 6 or 7 acres there. With the
Okay.
3 parcels combined.
Small farm.
Well, I
Three
read,
parcels, that middle house is owned by somebody else.
correct,
Okay, so how would there be
Well,
three parcels?
33, 53, 33, 49, 33, 39,
3349 you don't own.
correct.
So you're including that in your farm.
33, 53, 33, 49, 33, 39. I own,
John's place is empty, there's no house on it.
correct. That's about 4, I don't have the thing in front of me, but that's like 4.5 acres, and that goes all the way behind the next 3 houses, and then the next house, 3349 I own, skip a house, that's Sarah's house, and then 3339 I own where the pasture is, and then I'm gonna come out to the road there.
And you've turned that house into a barn?
Correct. That is hay storage now.
what's the biggest violation currently that he could be working on that would
The
represent?
house is in terrible shape, the roof primarily, and then the rest of the yard has junk vehicles. Dry brush, scrub, it's in bad shape. Anybody that's ever driven by there, you told them, show me the 3 distressed properties on Hazelmere, they would point to the gentleman's property or his mother's property. Anybody that's been down through there knows.
Except the state didn't agree with that, so. And the state has jurisdiction over top of you, actually come back to the board members, they said they can't go to the building inspector, they come after the board. Prepare to file the state laws.
Well, we'll look into this, and I'll be liking to hear some progress. talk to Scott and see if, you know, if there's anything happening, anything's getting, more is getting taken care of, and we'll look at further at this paperwork
I
too.
know Tom Reese isn't here tonight, but I called him in July when I first got the violations. And he said, you know, we'd whack around the house and stuff, which I did. And that's what they were kind of looking for. He suggested painting the boards on the, but the house or whatever. Where the bank had boarded up the windows prior to me owning it. He said if I painted the boards, you know, to blend in with the house, that would be sufficient instead of replacing windows and stuff. And then he stopped by my house. Don't quote me, what, September-ish? And he said the place is looking great and really doing a good job. So I'm not sure. From one aspect, I get a good job. All my neighbors are happy with it. They like it. They say it's looking good. They're the ones that have to live next to me. So I'm not sure. And the junk vehicles, I don't have any junk vehicles by the town's definition, and by the town's definition, you're also allowed 5 junk vehicles, so. Any way you want to define it, there's less than 5 unregistered vehicles, and there's no vehicles, in the town definition says if it'll start and drive under its own power. Well, they'll all start and drive under their own power, one might need a jump, but it's got a bad battery in it, but for crying out loud, it'll start and drive under its own power.
All right,
Yeah. Did you say you took a house and filled it with hay?
Yep. Small square beds. I needed a dry spot to
that might-
store them, and there was a dry spot there. The house is completely gutted inside. There's no interior.
There's no
walls.
neighbors next to it, is there?
Yep. Yeah, there is. They helped fill it.
Okay.
They were happy.
Hmm.
They were happy that
If it
somebody
starts
took
on
it.
fire, they won't be happy.
That's for sure.
Well, don't put wet hay in. I mean, I've been making hay for 30 years.
Okay,
Knock
all
on
right,
wood.
all right, I just.
I never had one get warm.
well, thank you for providing this information. We'll take a further look at it.
What,
Into it.
is there any consensus of what I need to be working at or doing? Because I go into violation November 1st, and I really don't want to go the court route. I'd much rather be. Just make everybody happy. It's a lot easier on everybody.
Well, yeah, we'll look into it, work with Scott. And see what we can work out for you.
Okay, somebody will get back in touch with me before I get a court summons?
You have the paperwork that I sent you, tells you when you have to have the violations corrected. If you don't have them corrected, I will issue you an appearance ticket.
I don't know what the violations are. Can you please explain in great detail?
I'm done talking to you about it because there's no amount of time I can spend with you on the phone or talking to you face to face. Or is it gonna be a circular argument and you're just gonna keep asking the same question? You're an adult, you very well know what condition your property's in, clean it up. I'm done talking to you about it, Rich.
I
Done.
don't feel it's in a bad condition. Item Markets doesn't feel it's in a bad condition. New York Farm Bureau doesn't feel it's in a bad condition. My neighbors don't feel it's in a bad condition.
And your
And
last
I'm-
comment to me, Mr. Wendig, was I'll see you in court, and that's probably where we'll end up.
Well, that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Apparently not, because that was your last comment to me on the phone.
After you cut me out, yes, it was.
Rich, come
And
on.
that's why I came. to
Come on, bring your recording, you said you had it recorded, bring your recording in. And I'll pay you $100 if there's any vulgarity in our conversation.
I don't want your.
It's all right. I mean, we do have to move
Let's move
on.
on.
So
Yes.
thank you for providing that information. That's a step in the right direction.
Can I expect you'll be here next board meeting with that tape, so you can play it?
Sure can.
That would be great.
And I expect
would
to hear
appreciate
from you before November 1st, so we can avoid court.
You have the paperwork that will allow you to avoid court.
I do not have any paperwork that will allow me to avoid court. And I just asked you.
Thank you for making my point, because there's no amount of discussion with you that won't end up in a circular argument and you asking, I don't have any clue as to what I did wrong. I'm done talking to you. You have the paperwork, it's documented. Please clean your property up. Your neighbors will appreciate it, the town board will appreciate it.
The paperwork is in violation of the town law, so I can't. follow
Okay,
it.
then you'll have no problem prevailing in court, if that's what you're looking to do. It sounds like that's what you're looking to do.
No, it's not what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to be a good neighbor, and I have asked you for clarification on the phone and in person now, and both times.
And I've done my level best to provide it. And
This is your level best,
It
right
is my
here.
level best.
To go figure it out, and look at the paperwork again, which I already looked at and I can't figure out.
Okay. Noted.
All right, I'm about- that's me. So don't get
All
into
right.
more.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah, you're welcome. All right, on to department reports here. We all received the email with the financial reports earlier today. So we have that to look at. We do have a tentative budget in place. Does anybody have any comments about the budget? We'll have a public hearing next month. For that.
Any changes need to be made today before we schedule a public hearing so that I can
Mhm.
have the tentative budget available
Yeah.
to the public.
I didn't have any.
So,
Did you guys have any changes? I
No,
didn't have any.
we discussed them all already.
Yeah.
I think we went over everything on my end, anyway. I think Tom did too. Yeah.
okay, so now I'll let Kathy know we are good to go with the proposal.
So we finished up the blacktop, we got a small job to do down on, Long Point Drive. We gotta do a small blacktop job there, but we're gonna use, full patch for that. Let's see, shoulders have been put on Barrier Road and all the spots will be a blacktop. The Auctions International came in and took all the pictures of everything. I'm just waiting on when they're gonna put it in. I'm assuming their computers are full or whatever. I don't know what they're doing, but it was last month when they did it. So we're, as they pile up, like he goes around to every town or whatever, and we all get shuffled into the mix. It will be on there soon, hoping. I was hoping it'd been on there last month, but
Which truck, Tim, the international?
14 Mac
Oh,
and
14 Mac.
the cat 316.
Yeah, so-
Yep, all that. So that's done. We're servicing equipment now. Rust coat's coming in to do rust coating on all our equipment again this year, the 28th. Obviously, the 45-mile-an-hour signs, they come out, marked it all out for us, so we're ready to go. On your approval. You got a resolution tonight for that, for Felton Hill. Yeah, other than that, everything's going good. We had a gentleman quit. And I have an application already turned in and I think we're gonna go with it, so. Obviously, I'll have to put it in the paper, but. Just to get more applications. Yep. Other than that, we're good.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep.
Water or sewer, did you want to provide any update on the grant that
Uh,
you've been working on?
The grant with Municipal Solutions to Rural Development for the engineering for the well houses is in process, but they are now required, it got sent back, it had been sent in. It got sent back because they are waiting for a agreement letter between us and MDA to do the work. So we're waiting for Caleb to get that letter so that it can get resubmitted, so that's just the only thing we're waiting on at this point, so. It's going along, we also got the lead line service. Survey that we were required to do by law that got turned in. By MDA, and they are currently going to be working on sending out letters to. Any of the homeowners who have lead service lines that will need to be changed or addressed. Not sure exactly what they have to do with that, but I'm sure the letter will, MDA will clarify that. So we're just waiting for those to go out. I think they have to be out by the middle of November, so. Not sure exactly how many houses that is, but I do have the survey. It's really tiny because of the way that they print these things, but it is available in my office for anybody that wants to look at it and see what's what on there. And I think that's, other than that, everything seems to be going well with those. So I'm great now.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Bob, did you want to say anything about the meeting that we
Let
had?
me find out some more before, well, let's talk about it next month, okay? Maybe I'll get some more information about it.
That's about the water protection thing that the state is involved with. Well, that's. Anything else from the clerk's desk?
And so.
Stop. I'll try to make it a Richard Petty pit stop. Building permits, you have the system reports, 7 new permits, completed 9, there's 27 open permits. Under property maintenance, we've already talked about the first one, 82 or 8552 Route 16 at Junkyard. Tried to work for the last year, getting some cleanup done there, to no avail. So we've issued some violations. Those are due by the beginning of November. I don't have any confidence that that's going to get cleaned up. We may end up going the court route on that, unfortunately. That's been a mess for quite some time. And 9718 Main Street, which is the KG Mart. The individual that owns that started trying to put a roof on that without a building permit. The structure is in really bad shape, rotten rafters, rotten sidewalls. He's looking to acquire a building permit to re-roof it. It's far beyond that. You need to get an architect involved or a licensed professional engineer. I did get a call from a fellow in East Aurora, so hopefully that'll progress. Any further issues. And I did include an article for the city of Olean. I thought was kind of interesting. You can read that at your leisure, but it kind of is a model for where we really need to go. I don't anticipate we would have a lot of property maintenance cases going that route, but small handful every year, I would assume. And Spug Hill Radio Tower, there is steel structure in the air. Probably just by the looks of it, should be complete within a month. They still have to put the concrete bunker in, that kind of stuff, but that's progressing. And I did make contact with the owner of Bear Creek. He's looking to acquire a building permit to re-roof, I think he said, a restaurant building. I haven't been over there to take a look inside, but the way he described it, there's gonna be some structural problems with that building as well. I think he anticipates kind of doing some scab repairs to it, but in the end run, there's gonna be a lot of people. If it's used as a camping resort, a lot of out-of-town people, a lot of transient traffic, and it's gonna have to be done correctly. There's a huge potential for lawsuits. So that would be my report.
Thank you. All right, how about the youth commission?
Yep, we are having our trunk or treat next Tuesday, the 29th, from 5:30 to 7 at the park next to Beaverstown Barns there for the barns. We're still accepting trunks if anybody's interested. And we also have our candy monsters accepting donations at the businesses around town. And then we have our cash raffle coming up on Friday, December 6th.
Very good. So what's going on?
Yeah.
It's good. All right, thank you. That brings us to planning committee report.
We've got another meeting coming up the 28th of this month, it's next Monday at 6 o'clock. Anybody's welcome to attend that. Gene Brown and I went to a meeting on, well, it was on comprehensive plans and zoning. And it was very interesting. We picked up a lot of stuff out of it. It was run by a fellow by the name of Paul Bishop, and I have a complete folder on it that we got with it here. He's from the Environmental Finance Center in Syracuse. But anyway, it was very enlightening. He said the biggest thing is, and the interesting thing is, to go any further, first of all, you've got to get a comprehensive plan, so you have a direction. And he laid out what we needed to do. So far, we have done almost 85% of it. We have most of our visions to reality have come back. We're liking a couple of them. We should have them this next meeting, hopefully. They did speak some on getting grant funds. Now, Cattaraugus County is willing to review a plan, but they cannot write it up. So you have to have a written plan to them, and then they'll review it. And it will go to the planning board and everything to make sure everything looks good before they'll approve it. It does have to go through Cat Rock's County. We do need to get that done before the end of the year. There is grant money available and it's matching funds through Cattaraugus County. So in other words, they would, match any funds that we would put up, to do this. We've got information on that here too. And there's an application here that tells, what you want to do, how are you gonna do it? And we've got most of that in order. But, here again, it's a matching fund grant, so here again, if it's $1,000, 2,000 or 10,000, it's something that the town would have to match, which that could be an issue, obviously. The other thing is, Kevin Sparks, I and Gene Brown are signed up to go to a 4-hour seminar here on the 24th. And that is put on by, well, it's gonna be in Salamanca. And it's gonna discuss why become a pro-housing community, planning board 101, the basics of referrals and the importance of zoning boards and so on. So it's gonna be a real interesting thing, but we're gonna spend 4 hours there and take that course. We paid to take the course always. But I think it's gonna be very interesting and hopefully we'll have a lot more to report at the planning committee meeting.
Sounds good. I'm planning on going to that.
Dave, do we have to have, you said by the end of the year, we have to have a plan of what uses the parcels are gonna be?
I think that basically we've gotta have something in order, right? Am I right, Bob?
Well, I'm hearing conflicting things on that, Dave. I mean, yeah, we all thought, went
Yeah,
in there thinking we had to have something before January, but then
yeah,
other people I've talked to says, oh, no, that doesn't, you don't have to do anything about that. So that's why I say it probably should take some more
I'll tell you
investigation.
what, I'll get hold of the county and find out for sure.
Okay,
I can do that tomorrow.
okay.
I haven't seen any specific mandate on that, but is there a date on that grant that you're talking about?
The grant is. Let's see. Nope, but there's a number here to call, so I'll find out. Then that's what Cattaraugus County.
Yeah, see if that extends into
Yeah,
next
I've
year.
got all the information, but it doesn't say that there is a deadline on it, so I'll find out. I'll call tomorrow and find out.
And find out for sure if I mean, we have to have a plan. We got 2 months and that's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Didn't write down the
That would
wire.
be quite the task.
Yeah, so time frame.
Sir, there's some, if you wanna go through that other door, there's seats in that room.
Well, I will find that out.
Thank you. Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
All right, we got some resolutions to look at here.
There,
Right.
we'll start with.
Does anyone, do we want to have any discussion about any of these, before we move on these? I know.
What did you want to do on the dog? I know we talked about.
Yeah.
There was some more information came on.
Yeah.
You sent it out to us.
And
What do you
yeah.
want to do on that? Hold on that?
I think we should, because in talking to Rebecca further, it sounds like a lot of the other towns are also holding on it because it's
All right.
the way this animal
we'll-
shelter
we'll get
thing
to that.
is, it's kind of like a open check right now with no restrictions on it. So do we want to table that for now?
Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
can read it. We'll just table it. And just read the
I
headlines.
need to read it, right?
You can read that line and then table it.
Yeah, let's find it right quick.
That's until last.
So it's this is a resolution to authorize the supervisor to sign contracts with the Phoenix Humane Society and Dog Control Services, because now the dogs have to be housed and somebody's got to pay for that. So we need to determine what's going to be the specifics on that. So
So let,
I-
yeah, make a motion to table.
I'm gonna make a
it. We have-
motion to table it.
I'll suck it.
Second, all in favor?
Second.
Aye,
Aye.
got it. All right, done.
I will keep you all apprised of what I hear from the other courts and there's 16 towns in the county that contract with Samantha Smith right now for dog control. And some of, I mean, the contracts aren't all the exact same, but they all have an open amount, like for vet care, that the town could be billed for if an animal's hurt
Yeah.
or whatever, and. We don't have an open check budget to cover, a $10,000 vet bill
Right.
for a stray or anything like that, so. The other towns are starting to work on a contract that we will, as the towns, present to her as this is our offer.
This is what we'll do.
And this is what all of us are offering you, and these are the fees we're willing to pay. So as that moves forward, I will keep you all apprised.
Thanks. All right, so let's move on to the resolution to reduce the speed limit on Felton Hill Road. Whereas the town of Machias Highway Superintendent has researched the traffic flow and speed on Felton Hill. And whereas the highway superintendent has requested that the speed limit be reduced to 45 miles an hour to match the speed limit of the town of Ashford portion on the other end. Whereas New York State allows the town board to reduce the speed limit on town roads, therefore be it resolved by the Machias Town Board to set the speed limit on Felton Hill Road to 45 miles an hour and authorize the town highway superintendent to change signage to reflect the new speed limit. This resolution is hereby adopted by a majority vote. We have a motion?
No, move it. Second.
Okay, Job,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Yes.
All right, next we have a seeker to make some revisions to our current solar law. Whereas the town board of the town of Machias is considering adopting a local law to replace our 2023 local law regulating solar energy systems. Whereas the town board is duly qualified to act as lead agency for environmental review of certain actions undertaken by local government. Therefore, be it resolved by the town board of Machias that it declares itself as lead agency for seeker review and hereby determines that pursuant to that section for the proposed action is an unlisted action. The resolution is adopted by a majority vote of the board.
I'll move it. I'll second.
Josh,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Nick.
Yes.
All right, tab control and skipping. I'm gonna go to this resolution, another secret one. This is, whereas the town board of town of Machias is considering adopting a local law imposing a 12-month moratorium on the approval of commercial battery energy storage systems in the town of Machias. Whereas the town board is duly qualified to act as lead agency for environmental review. And therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby declares itself lead agency for seeker in this review process and that no further, this is a type 2 action, so no further environmental review is required. Majority would,
I'll second.
Josh,
yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes. Yes.
All right, on to audit of claims. For the general fund, we have $6,512.04. For the youth, we have $2,081.52. Highway fund, $47,989.65. Street lighting, $15,89.47. Water fund, $10,384.97. And the sewer fund, $10,251.92. This will be adopted by a majority vote.
I'll move it.
Second.
Josh,
Yes.
Bob,
Yeah.
Frank,
Yes.
Nick.
Yes.
We need to schedule our public hearings for the budget, which would be probably 6:45 before our next
Yeah.
meeting. 6:45 or 6:30? 6:45.
6:45, yeah, and we can always run late and start our board meeting late, we just can't. start
Yeah.
Our board meeting early, so, that's why we usually do that, so it would be on the 18th of November at 6:45.
Perfect. Anything else from you guys or anyone on the floor? Yes.
Little question about Canada Hill, South Canada Hill Road. 83, 88, 83, 54, those places there, there's huge potholes in the road. I mean, easily, a couple feet, very deep. Yeah, can they be fixed before?
Where is that?
And to the top of Canada Hill Road, 83, 88, I think is where it starts, and it goes all the way down through to, Sunset.
There's a real bad one at the, where Sunset tees into South Canada Hill, a
Yeah.
really bad one.
Must be you didn't travel that road today, cause it's,
It's done?
yeah.
Oh,
It was done
what
today,
about one by 83, 88 isn't done?
83, 88. I might have missed that one, but I got the ones at the T and all the other ones at the intersection. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That was all done
I
today.
didn't turn left out of the driveway.
Yeah, all done today.
You better check that
Yeah,
out.
the other ones will be Friday.
Oh,
That's easy.
Yep.
Good,
Yeah, they were done this morning.
thank you.
Friday.
Thanks for bringing that, yeah. Yes, sir.
I have a question in regards to, how you code enforcer, since you're speaking to that gentleman, all up and down 16. That looks like a garage sale, you got used vehicles all over, can we clean that up a little bit, cause you know, people, we have a very expensive tax base and very expensive homes around here. And people driving in, it just doesn't really look good for our community,
The answer is yes, I can send letters out.
thank you.
Do they listen?
Great.
Get about 25-30% of the people. Would they get a letter? It's not even a violation at that point, it's just a notice to
Yeah.
give you a call.
Friendly reminder.
They'll clean up. After that, you get, another 10 or 15%, and then you get the clientele that just absolutely will not clean up. Getting people into court is exceedingly difficult in this day and age due to bail reform and that kind of thing, but we're working on that.
Cause there's one right by the lake house.
You mean the place that got the toilets lined up in the driveway?
Yeah, yeah.
And, oh, yeah, and the sink line.
Here's this one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's right by the
Yeah,
lake
it's right.
house. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like the entrance to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right up against the road, so you gotta.
That actually, that mess is an offshoot of the mess that was in Yorkshire on Pleasant Valley.
Yeah. Eventually,
Okay.
can the house go in and clean it up and then charge them, like, put a lien on the property for the next owner to pay off?
I would have no remedy to do that. That would have to go through the courts.
But eventually, if it goes to court, could somebody
That would
step
be,
in?
that would be up to the judge and the town prosecutor.
Take in- That house has been a mess for 10 years. And but it's
there's-
really bad now the garage sale stuff's out,
There's quite a few of them like that around town, and it's just
but there's two
trying
right,
to pick at them one at a time. It's very difficult to try to bring somebody in.
but eventually, hopefully, it'll look better.
Working at it.
When it
I
snows.
know, because my family
There's-
comes out and they're like, why you got a lot of garbage around? And I'm like, just in those houses, now look at all these great houses.
Yeah.
So it's like bad.
Yeah,
Maybe you guys sell.
Well, I mean, you were here at the beginning of the meeting. You see how difficult it is to convince people to clean up their properties. That's what we're up against.
I don't have toilets in my front yard or trash or yard sale.
Well, that's good, because it would not.
But you could drive by and.
Please drive by, it's right past the post office,
but you're
and
fine.
give me a call and tell me your honest opinion.
Yeah.
What I can do to improve it.
does anyone else have anything before we?
I would.
I did want to just encourage everybody, because we have an important election coming up before our next meeting. So I just want to encourage everybody to get out there and do their duty and vote. I did come across a quote here recently from Martin Luther King Jr. that I kind of liked. It says, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." And I thought that was good. That's my encouragement towards voting. All right, I guess all we need now is a motion
I'll
to,
make a motion.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye. Good job.
Thanks, guys.
Wait a minute, she has a question.
And I can get them from the house. Because the people that are living there don't own the house. The people that actually own that house live in our cave,
What else are you talking about?
right there on Route 16 behind our yard sale place.
Oh.
Yeah,
Huh.
cause that's what I came for, it's right next door to my sister. And they're going all the way from the tops, what's that?
Yeah, I got one more for highway. They mentioned they were gonna do around Lime Lake, you were gonna do the stones. What are we looking for? So we can make sure we have all our cars out of the way.
You're,
Stones, we're gonna do 3 feet.
on the shoulder, we're gonna fill in that shoulder around the
Any
edge,
idea when, so.
it'll be in the spring. First thing in the spring, you know,
Okay, thanks.
before everybody gets there. It'll be all packed out.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that's it.
We made a motion. Unless there's something else.